Good evening, everyone. We're so glad to have you with us this evening. We have a fantastic show for you this evening. I have a special guest, and the special guest is going to be Miss Arlette Ledbetter. She is the tourism director for the town of Pahrump and maybe all of Nye County. But we'll get into that because I want you to get to know who she is, just some things about her that you may or may not know. And Arlette, welcome to the show.
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Waters.
I am so glad to have you here. And, you know, because I've known you for several years now, but I don't think our audience knows that much about you. So I want to ask you some questions just so they get to know you, and then we can talk about this famous Arlette Ledbetter that most people know about, but they only know the name.
Okay.
They don't know the person, and this is important. So, how long have you been in Pahrump?
I've lived in Pahrump for about 16 years.
16 years?
15, 16 years, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been with the town of Pahrump for 13 years.
Okay. So 3 years after you got here, you started working with the town. Now, did you always work in tourism?
I have worked in the hospitality industry my entire life.
Okay.
And a lot of it has been in the tourism industry, yes.
Okay. But for Pahrump, did you start off with tourism?
No, I did not. I started off at the administrative offices for town of Pahrump. And so that encompassed business licensing and more. There were several tasks there.
Ah,
yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started off years ago with the town of Pahrump, and you've done all these things with the town of Pahrump, and then you moved into tourism.
Yes.
Okay.
That is what happened.
And while we're talking, and you know, I say this for every show, be sure you have paper in front of you and you have something to write with, because you may want to contact Arlette at a later time, so you're going to need her phone number, and we'll have that on the screen. You want to use the computer to look at some of the things that she's going to talk about, and you want to write down the website.
Absolutely.
So all of these things, so be sure to have something to write with, because we're going to go through this pretty fast. Even though she's going to be with me for the entire hour, time just flies when we're having fun, and we're going to have fun today.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
So now, where are you from originally?
I'm from Washington State. I grew up as a child in Puyallup, Washington.
Oh, Washington State's such a beautiful state.
It's gorgeous. There's no doubt. Yeah.
So what brought you to Pahrump?
Well, a long series of events, most definitely. I lived in Las Vegas for several years.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I went to school there and just decided to move out here to join my family. Okay. So I do have family that lives in Pahrump.
Oh, fantastic. You have a lot of friends here, too.
I do.
I consider myself one of her friends.
Yes.
I hope she does, too.
I do. I do, yes.
And then when she agreed to appear on this show, you know, it's like, please, Arlette, I want you on the show.
It took a little bit of encouragement,
and when she
right?
finally said yes, I was so pleased for that. And I had to schedule her way out, too. So, but she's here tonight, and we're so glad to have her here. And we're glad to have her here because she's got a lot of information for all of you.
I do, and thank you for inviting me into your homes this evening, and Dr. Waters and I will try to deliver this information to you in an interesting way so that you can become active in tourism and feel like you are participating in the destination that we promote internationally, everywhere around the world. We're really proud of Pahrump. You
know, for a long time, people knew about Las Vegas, but knew nothing about Pahrump. I want to give one example, and some people may know this. Front Sight. Front Sight is here, but for a long time they just said they were outside of Las Vegas. They never used the term Pahrump, and now they're saying Pahrump.
Yes.
Because of Arlette. This is, and she may be modest about that, but Pahrump is on the map because of Arlette.
Oh, thank you. I think that's overreaching. There's an entire team of people. I really want to emphasize that there's an entire team of people that do this destination promotion, from shopkeepers to hotels, attractions, to include our Pahrump Tourism Advisory Committee members and the folks that attend those meetings, to Nevada Silver Trails, which is the territory that we belong to within the state of Nevada. And to take it even a step further, to go to the state of Nevada and their Travel Nevada team. So Travel Nevada and our state has done a wonderful job promoting the rural communities. And you are right to your reference about Las Vegas, and we weren't the only ones as a rural community that didn't receive a lot of notice. People flew into the #1 destination in the world. I mean, it's the meeting capital, it's the show capital, it's Las Vegas. And now we have a lot more coverage, a lot more notoriety as a destination because of so many attractions, and Death Valley National Park is one very large attraction.
And we're going to talk about a lot of the attractions and probably even show some pictures so that you get to see some of the things Arlette is talking about. But there's a question that a lot of people have talked to me about, and I knew I wanted to ask Arlette about it. And I want to hear what she has to say, because we talk about a lot of times people see the big buses coming into town on their way to Death Valley. And people say, well, why don't they stop in Pahrump? And Arlette, what's the real response to that?
Well, I receive that question quite a bit. And I have talked to some bus tour operator companies. So really what happens is the buses that people see, the folks see coming through town, are usually en route to Death Valley National Park. Okay. From what I understand, the bus tourism is 3% and under of the actual traveler to the park. So the most frequent traveler you will find is what we call the FIT market, the fully independent traveler. They have landed in Las Vegas, they're spending some time there, they rent a car and tour Death Valley National Park, perhaps even Joshua Tree, Sequoia, Grand Canyon, maybe the Mighty Five in Utah, but they do a package of national parks sometimes, or just want to see Death Valley National Park. That's the fully independent traveler. The group travel market, that would be the motor coach tours. Those are pre-planned. So I've met with a couple motor coach companies. One of the, I would say, obstacles that we encounter with those is that they have departed from Las Vegas and they're 1 hour from their origination point and 1 hour from their destination. So we don't receive a lot of business from that as far as staying over or staying the night. I think one of the things that we should discuss with people is that we are fully funded as a tourism department by the room tax fund. It's not the general fund. It's not funded by the citizen taxpayers. It's funded by a lodging tax. It's a 9% tax that you pay when you stay in a hotel. So
we're talking about tourists that come to town, they pay the tax, and they're the ones taking care of tourism.
That's correct. And it is that way in most destinations. There are some more creative funding types, but as far as we are concerned, we call it the room tax fund. Sometimes it's called lodging tax or tax on tourism. And so
let me stop you there, because I'll bet some of our audience did not know it's not coming from the normal taxpayers in Pahrump.
That's correct.
It's coming from people that are renting a room and usually passing through Pahrump, like people from Front Sight or some other places that are here temporarily. They're paying for tourism, not you.
Yes, and a lot of times you'll hear a phrase coined, heads in beds, and while that was really predominant in the industry and still is, we want those heads in beds. We are fully aware that tourism happens in the community, in this case Pahrump. That is our destination, and it's more than just heads in beds. It's day trippers, it's festival attendees, it's economic development, it's multiple facets of our amazing community.
And you're involved in the Fall Festival. You're involved in all the other things that impact tourism in Pahrump.
Right. Well,
now, do you just handle Pahrump or a lot of Nye County?
I just handle Pahrump. Okay, but I do serve on another board called Nevada Silver Trails.
Okay.
Nevada's divided up into territories. Las Vegas Territory is our partner next door. That would be Clark County. Nevada Silver Trails Territory actually encompasses the central section of Nevada from Urington to Pioche to Pahrump. That's a pretty large territory.
That's a large area. Okay.
Yes, it is. It is a large area.
And you cover all of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and we meet, and we are always happy to have anybody that's interested in tourism attend those meetings as well, and peruse our website. It's nevadasilvertrails.com, and I think you'll find it fascinating. It features many of the communities and what they have to offer. So even for our own citizens, it's a great day trip to get out and see the area.
Fantastic. Mm-hmm. Okay. When you say that, you're encompassing all the things that are available, mm-hmm. things that people can do, things that's going to incite our public, mm-hmm. and you have it all right there at the website. Right.
Visit Pahrump.com. I would like every one of you to log on there and just look at the community, the destination, what we have to offer here and in the surrounding area. We say for Pahrump that we are 60 miles west of Las Vegas, 180 degrees different. and I'm really proud of that. I'm super pleased with the fact that we get to say we're 180 degrees different, because our community is so fiercely independent. And
I love that, yes.
Actually different from the city.
Yeah.
And we know that, and we enjoy that. We like that we're different, and I think that that's a great side to show all of our markets that come into our town and visit. It's an absolutely great facet of this place.
This is great. Again, I hope you're writing this down. I hope you're listening to everything that Arlette says. And we're going to come back in the next segment, and we're going to cover a lot more of this information. But we've let you know who Arlette is, the things that she's done and the things that she's doing. And there is just so much to talk about tourism. So I want you to come back and join us in the next session.